We just fell a little bit short tonight. The Everton match folks coming to Newcastle fans, so if you want to, stick around. Points deduction. Calm down, calm down. Some checking. Can't wait to get a Goodison Park and some checking.
Let's go. I'll have you.
That's as good as the Scouse accents get. Welcome back to Black White Banter, Newcastle fans. We are on the road in the pitch black, and it's not just me on this one. I am back in the car with the Cold Dog. How are you, Cold Dog, sir?
I'm very, very well, thank you very much. There's only one downside. I'm spending the time journey with you again, but you know, I'll live with it.
Yeah. As many people do speak to me on these videos, he's got to speak to me for a full 3 hours down to Goodison Park. But, Newcastle fans, before we get into this any further, do me a little favour. If you're new around here, or if you're not, I don't really care. Give us a little likey Lou, because that goes a very long way. It just helps this video get to a few more people. That would be nice. Subscribe. I don't know why he's whispering. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you like this by the end of it. And comment as well. Yeah, I do like to see the comments coming in. I had a lot of comments on my video about the fan survey that I posted this week, so please. Well, we'll get on to that. We'll chew the bones out of that one. So it is Everton away Thursday night. Bit of a strange night for a game. We don't often play on Thursdays. Thirsty Thursdays for a lot of people. They're a team on the up a little bit, and I say that, I know a lot of people will think, what are you on about, Matthew? On the up, they just had a points deduction. I think the points deduction came at quite a good time for Everton because they had turned the corner form-wise, and I think based off the fact they won on Saturday, Sean Dyche has not allowed that to take over their mentality too much. Would you agree with that?
I think there's a bit of false economy with them because they were doing okay. They were, just sitting below mid-table and 10 points taken, so they certainly weren't as bad as the last couple of seasons, so yeah, we've got to get worried about today or tonight. Yes and no. Am I worried about Pope being out? Yes and no, but they probably do a good job. Can our consistency keep on going? Hell yes. Absolutely.
That's what I like to hear. Hell yes.
I think they'll be as worried about this game as we are. I mean, and especially all them lads that are going with just lambs. You know, you had to get the T-Rex joke in, didn't you?
Yeah. We'll touch on him. We'll touch on him in a second. In the battle of the goalkeepers. I said in my match preview, funny you talking about consistency. This is the game. We've got an awful 3 days, a Thursday, Sunday turnaround. I'm not going to whinge too much. That's the Premier League. It's hard. But when you've got 13 injuries to have a turnaround time, we're not going to get finished tonight till 10:30, 11 o'clock. The players might travel home tonight to then be going down to Tottenham Hotspur. Difficult place to go regardless of their injuries. 2 days later pretty much. That's a tough turnaround. I think I fancy our chances in the two matches more tonight than what I do on Sunday, and that's not me being negative. I just think it's a lot to ask when you've got no squad rotation. We have no squad rotation.
I think what's really interesting, and I wonder how many Newcastle fans agree with this, but after the match against Man U, there wasn't one point during that match I was ever concerned.
No.
Even when the goal was disallowed and they thought they'd scored, there was no concern. And it was like, this is amazing. At one time you may have had a bit of worry and there was trepidation going into the game, thinking, oh God, we're playing a much better team. But the amount of times we've played this season and people have said, oh, them teams had enough day, the pennies dropped. Newcastle United are actually playing some tremendously good football. And I was talking to some lads at work today, they're playing as this unit that enjoy their games, that enjoy their football, and more so enjoy playing together. And what we're actually having now is us going into games, we're not worried. Win, lose or draw, we know we're going to see decent football.
Yeah.
I think that's hugely important, and it takes a bit of strain off not just the players but the fans as well.
Yeah. A little bit closer, not too far off, but on a side note, big talking point, and I'll keep this brief, but obviously I've done a video on the fan survey that's gone out this week. Colin, because I've had the pleasure of being in the car, I say the pleasure, not really the pleasure, because I haven't tolerated you because I haven't tolerated you in the car for a while, you did the survey, you completed it, you were just telling us. So on my video I've had lots of mixed feedback, lots of comments, which I love, paragraphs, a lot of people coming back at me saying basically What did you expect? You wanted Mike Ashley. Now you're a little bit uneasy about hospitality popping up left, right and centre. Lots of people saying we need a stadium move, and that's across TikTok as well, my other social media platform. What are your thoughts first? I'll go through. So are you the same as me? Food and drink stalls improving, no-brainer. Like more food options, more drinks.
There's lots of little things to be improved.
Yes.
The sound system,
toilets,
the Wi-Fi, the toilets, the food, the different choices of food. Don't disagree with that, right? But unfortunately, I see it this way, from a business point of view. Newcastle United's put this survey out, and if they have 53% say they want a new stadium, and 47 don't, what they're not looking at is it's not the season ticket holders only they've gone to. They've gone every Newcastle fan who's signed up with them, right? Members. So you're going to have season ticket holders who have been, in my eyes, a massive part of this club's history, as what all fans are, but season ticket holders put their money where their mouth is, and they will just turn around and say, well, 53% wanted the new stadium, but the 47% will be a lot of season ticket holders. I could be totally wrong. I could be totally absolutely.
That's looking at the survey a bit stricter. I don't think, and I could be wrong. We don't know these. This is all hypothetical. I don't think it's going to be as strict as whatever the survey says is what they go with. I don't think it'll be, because a stadium move needs a lot of conversations, from fans.
Right. So you look at this. There's two places that stadium, a new stadium, could go. Number one is up at Goodison Park. Can you see them getting permission for that? Just because it's going to bring money into the city? Wow, that's going to be really hard to do. The other one they've talked about is having it down by the river. Utter rubbish. There's going to take it not away and out of the city, but away from where all the restaurants and the pubs, the clubs.
It's our identity in the city.
I think we're so unique in that way that, do you know what? They could try and ground share for a year and build a whole new stadium somewhere else. Well, a whole new stadium on St James's Park, but looking still like it's got a bit of St James's Park about it.
So my thoughts, based off some of the comments that I got back, I did reply saying this. I tried to reply to as many as possible. There was a lot came in, more than I'm used to be honest, on my little old channel. A lot of people are using examples of, you know, your Arsenals, your Tottenhams, your West Hams, lots of the bigger teams moving. I know West Ham aren't necessarily a bigger team, but the teams who've moved to bigger stadiums to increase the option for revenue, for hospitality. Now the difference for me is, let's take Arsenal for example. What was Highbury's capacity? It was tiny.
That's 37.
Oh, you'd be lucky. It was a shed. It was a lovely shed, really old-fashioned ground.
Highbury Library.
They had to move. West Ham, Upton Park, not the biggest. I'd be surprised if that's any bigger than the Riverside in Middlesbrough.
And then they moved to the most soulless stadium you've ever been to in your life.
For hospitality reasons and for tickets, they had to move. Then let's go to White Hart Lane, Tottenham Stadium that they moved from. That was another very small stadium. What I think the difference is with Newcastle, and I think that's why they are asking, would you prefer expansion or a new stadium, is because we still currently have one of the most impressive stadiums in England. I mean, we've been picked for Euro 2028. So if there's an option, and Darren Eales has already submitted one, for us to expand on that rather than move, we should be looking to do it, because St James's Park is currently a 52,000 seater. We're not going to get an 80,000 on a new site.
Sorry, Matthew, I apologise.
No, it's fine.
They've already said the stadium could go up to 63 to 65.
Yeah.
And so what's wrong with that?
Exactly. I don't
at all. And you look at the stadium where it sits, and it's a very prominent, proud position it sits in, and it's not a bad looking stadium to start off with. And you come in over the Red Hugh Bridge, and what do you see? Stand all lit up, and you're coming towards the match. It's brilliant.
It just needs work, but I think me and Colin are both in the club of a stadium move is a no. The match kicked off 5 minutes ago, and we've just arrived at Goodison. All his fault. I said he'd be hating me if we never got here on time. I think I can hear Anthony Gordon. I can hear Anthony Gordon scoring in the background. Hey, could be a good omen. We are literally pacing to get in there now. Fingers crossed we go into a goal. Wouldn't that be nice? Half time. Just had my first pint, and it's half time. That's terrible. It wasn't the best one either. First half, not the best, not the worst. Dave probably's had the better chances. That Calvert-Lewin chance, if that was onside, I don't know. Wow, how he's missed that. We had a bit of a let off there. A couple of headers they had. I think our passing's been crisp. We've moved the ball well. Our midfield, it looks like there's a lot of space there to be had for Bruno Jollin. Miley's playing well. Anthony Gordon probably hasn't been as involved as what I would have liked. So that's, I hope to see a bit more of that. He just needs to get on the ball more because he's got to be pumped for this match. I still fancy us with a bit more quality in the second half, but this is not the same Everton we played last season. So fingers crossed we can create a little bit more in the second half. How are you, lads? All right then, I've just got back in the house. It's currently about 2:45 in the morning. I've got work first thing. I'm not looking for it. Took a little bit longer to get home than what we expected. Bit of traffic coming out, couple of issues with the car, services stopped to go for a piss and get some food. Oh, these midweek away days don't have taken out you, but you do it for the love of the game. And I tell you what, time to reflect on that. I'll keep this very brief to wrap this up because my phone's about to die. That's why I'm on the selfie camera to keep an eye on it. I did a video with Colin, the call dog, match reaction. If you want to go up and watch that one, this is just the full vlog. It's not bad, Newcastle fans. I've been on social media after and I've seen lots of talk about tired legs and fatigue being the card that's being played by most. I didn't see this game like that at all. We were zippy in the pass in the first half, lacking a bit of quality, not as good in the first. Then in the second, we had them penned in until Kieran Trippier made two mistakes. You make one mistake in the highest level of football, you sometimes get punished and cannot recover. You make two mistakes like Trippier did, that's pretty much sealing the coffin. But before then, it was anyone's game. And if you look at our chances, Anthony Gordon's got to do better, who probably's let the night get a hold of him emotion-wise in this one. He wasn't the Anthony Gordon we've known. He probably did just let it get all in his head a little bit, the romance of coming back to Everton. Isak's header in the first half. Almiron, where just use your right foot. Yes, he's been a lot better for us in the last year, Almiron, but one sticking point for me is having a right winger who is so one-footed, it's ridiculous. And there was two opportunities, one when he should have crossed it. So the point I'm making is we did create chances. Anyone who wants to play the fatigue card should go back and watch the Bournemouth game. Watch the highlights of that not too long ago. That was a tired fatigue performance. After 4 or 5 days to recover after Man United, I did not see that at Everton. It was a hostile atmosphere. We expected that. It was a tough game. They were up for it, very up for it. And the mistakes cost us. If Trippier doesn't make them mistakes, I don't know where that game goes. We were really, really knocking on the door. All of the ball, camping them in more and more. It was anyone's. And I think one thing tonight showed us is, for the first time, which we've been lucky that it's taken till now, our lack of substitutes. It would have been lovely in that game to bring on a Wilson, bring on a Murphy or a Barnes. God, that forgotten man. We didn't have that time. We didn't have anything to bring fresh legs or fresh ideas in a cagey second half. But I'm not worried. I saw plenty positives tonight. I did. It was just a frustrating game based off errors. Because the third goal, you could even say Dubravka should have done better with the third goal in injury time, but the game was done by then. So I'm not too worried. We need to be more clinical. It wasn't our best performance. We need to improve. We dust ourselves off and we go again in Spurs on Sunday. I think Newcastle fans like to hide behind the fatigue card every time we lose. It's almost like protecting your players like a manager does, but that was not the case tonight for me at all. And I don't think the players would say that, and Eddie Howe certainly won't be saying that. We don't have a long recovery time. We're not going to see any changes to the team. So it's just about sticking together. And, you know, if there's one group of players I would back to turn that result round, who'll be hurting from that. We saw in the scenes with Pickford. Hey, lots of people wound up with Pickford. He gets it enough off us. He gives it back. I don't mind the banter. People are saying he's had the last laugh. I think people forget that we play Pickford twice a season. We've got to play him again in April. So we'll see how he does at St James's Park. But we saw the aggression against him. That told you what the players thought about that match and how wound up they were. Let's take it out on Spurs on Sunday. They played on Thursday. They're in a really bad run of form. Could be anyone's down there at White Hart Lane. White Hart Lane, not White Hart Lane, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I keep saying White Hart Lane. Newcastle fans, though, if you've liked this match vlog, drop down, give us a little like, give us a subscribe. I need to get myself to bed, because my God, my eyes are going to be piss holes in the snow sat at my computer in the morning. But on to Tottenham we go. Things aren't too bad. We've seen much worse performances than that, haven't we? How are the lads?